Well, the crypto market has had quite a good day after we did get some fantastic inflation data this morning, leading a lot of investors to wonder, well, what happens next? Is this the moment? Is crypto about to break out? What do we do right now? And much more. And so my goal is to answer all of those questions here for you today. And so since we have a lot to get into, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. Now, as we can see here, yes, the crypto market's been looking fantastic on the day, seeing things like virtuals and AI16s and the S token and many more absolutely crushing it as a result of this morning's CPI data. Now, I actually did a live stream here on the channel this morning talking about the CPI data and why it was so important, but to summarize, what I told everyone was, listen, if you're a crypto investor, what you need to be on the lookout for is good CPI news. The reason why this is so important is that history says that when inflation is under control and the Fed starts reducing interest rates, it injects more liquidity into the economy, which then flows into crypto. So history says that if inflation is doing good and it's under control, crypto does good as well. And yesterday we got PPI data, which is producer inflation, which is pretty important as well, but consumers more important. Anyway, we saw that come in good, and I told everyone, hey, we want to see some good consumer inflation reports today, and that's what we got. CPI came in exactly at forecasted expectations, and core CPI came in a little bit better than expected, which was a great piece of news for the market. The market liked it a ton. And as I mentioned before, we started to see things really start to heat up. As you do know, the last week or so in crypto was very volatile. Just a couple days ago, we saw Bitcoin absolutely get smashed down towards $89,000. But for the most part, we have seen the majority of your major cryptos recover all of those losses and then put in some gains just on the weeklies. We can go out to the weekly bubbles and you can see that although there are some that are still lagging a little bit behind, most cryptos did completely go back up past that previous dip point that we had from earlier this week and are putting in some weekly highs, looking very good. Matter of fact, if we go back out to the dailies, you can see something like AI16s holding up very well. This is one that I told you all I was buying a couple days ago. I told you on the channel, and I told you all actually over in the Discord server on January 11th that I was going to be taking a bit of a gamble, and I made a decent sized purchase of AI16s at $1.15. And if we actually do go back out here, what you can see is that AI16s is currently sat at around $1.61, up about 30% since that purchase. So very good. I am very, very happy with the size of that purchase, and I'm glad that we're finally seeing some movement from the AI sector, from AI16s, from virtual, and many more. Now, overall, it does seem as if some cryptos are kind of lagging behind, right? We're not seeing, your Flokis and your Pepes and your Shibs are really giving us good movement yet, but for the most part, the market itself is looking pretty good. Bitcoin itself, if we do want to kind of focus on the big dog of the group, this one's currently sat around $99,000. Total 1 is sat right around 3.4 trillion. Total 2, the total market cap of altcoins, is also breaking out, currently right around 1.4 trillion. So I mean, overall, an absolutely fantastic day for the crypto market, and things do seem rather optimistic to me. Although inflation data alone isn't the only thing that's going to make or break this market, it is something that means the environment that crypto's in right now is a better one, which can open up doors of opportunity to the upside. So hence, a fantastic day in crypto. Now, the next question that people have after what is going on is, well, what do we expect next? Well, what I want to do is I actually want to issue a little bit of a warning to you all, because I do see some people making a rather large mistake that could be rather costly. So now that we're seeing this crypto market making some good moves, right? Bitcoin pumping, Total One pumping, altcoins pumping, etc. Everybody's already on Twitter screaming, dancing, swinging from the chandeliers like Miley Cyrus in 2013 or whenever that was. Excited, right? Everyone's super happy about it. And although it is okay to be excited about it and be optimistic, I am too, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Because if we actually look at what is happening from a technical perspective, the market's not broken out yet. Yes, we have recovered very well, and we've seen some great moves, but the crypto market as a whole, Bitcoin and Total One, have not broken out yet. Tyler, what do you mean by breaking out? Well, what we see is that the crypto market, say it was down here for a little while, right? Price was going sideways, if not just casually downwards. And then today, it's really made a great move upwards. The problem is that the majority of all of our major charts, Bitcoin, Total One, Ethereum, Total 2, all of those ones are still stuck either within or directly below major zones of resistance. And this means that although we have seen a great move today, we're not out of the woods. There are still major levels sitting on top of us that any given point could force the price back down and reject this move that we're in today. We've not broken out of these resistance zones yet, and that means means that we are still at risk. If you go look at something like the Bitcoin liquidation maps and you give it a little refresh, you can see that everybody is all excited. Hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidations are building up to the downside because everybody's screaming, oh, this is it, this is the moment, everything, we're going up, Bitcoin to 120K and all this great stuff. But at the end of the day, we've not broken out yet, and the fact that everyone is this excited does put this market in a bit of a risk right now. If we go look at something like Bitcoin, for example, Bitcoin is still below $100,000 at the time of recording. It's still stuck within the golden Fibonacci zone, and it's still stuck within this descending structure that it's been in for the last couple weeks. This structure here, support, resistance, this structure. We've not broken out of any of those levels. We've not set a new macro higher high. We've not done any of that. We have simply just recovered as a result of what's happened over the last day or so. And so this by no means is enough of a signal to say that Bitcoin is for sure on its way to 120K or 110K. This is not enough. We need to see Bitcoin's price being able to break out of these levels, because if we don't, at any given point, Bitcoin might just absolutely send it back to the downside. I don't think this is going to happen, but it is possible, especially as people get more and more greedy. If we look at Total One, for example, you can see a very similar picture. Total One is still within this descending channel. We've not broken out of it yet. We still have this golden zone, this little micro golden zone sitting directly above us right now. We still have the macro golden zone sitting directly above that we've not even got up to yet. And so yes, we are seeing great movements from the market today. It would be foolish to say that we have now broken out and that the crypto market is flipped and all these things, because quite frankly, nothing has changed from a technical perspective until we break these structures. We are still at risk of seeing pullbacks. We are still at risk of seeing liquidations. So the question that you may have now is, well, okay, what do we do? I hate to give you this answer, but the best thing in my opinion is nothing. As you all know, just a couple days ago, we were doing some pretty dang on big purchases. Look, let's go back over to the Discord. We were doing some pretty big purchases back on the 13th. If we go to the 13th, which would have been right up here, you can see here, we bought Bitcoin at $90,000, guys. And I was telling you all I was doing these buys. It's not like I saved this only for the server. Bitcoin at 90,000. Now Bitcoin's at 99,000, up 10%. We bought ETH at 3,000. Now ETH's at 3,300. We bought Solana at $175. Now Solana's at $200, right? So we were doing buying on cryptos, about 10 or 15 different cryptos, as the market was down here. And so now that we got these purchases in at these lower levels, I'm just going to sit back, wait, and watch. I want to see, do we break this or do we not break this? Because what happens there will truly decide where this market goes for the rest of the month, if not even into February. And so why would I be forcing any purchases or leverage trades right here, knowing that a major decision's on the way that's going to make it much easier for me to win? If crypto does this or if crypto does this, it's going to be much easier for me to win. So why would I be trying to force a trade right now, especially when we got some good spot purchases in right here? It doesn't make sense. And so my strategy is to sit back and do nothing. Let this play out. Let these confirmations come in and then make my decision. Now, if you absolutely must buy, you're like, I don't care what you say, I have to buy. My opinion is to do it slowly. Ladder those purchases in a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit the next day, to let it play out so that whether we do this or whether we do this, you can start to adjust accordingly. If we pull back, great, you can dollar cost average even more on the way down because you saved a little cash. But if we break out, sure, you may be buying at higher prices, but at least you're buying up into what is going to be much more likely to be a push to the upside. I wouldn't be doing any big purchases right here. I also wouldn't be doing any big sales. I would just be relaxing. I did rotate a little bit of profit. As I did say in the school earlier. I told them I'm still not doing any big buying or leverage trading, but I did rotate some small profits from our January 13th purchases to some meme coins like Brett, Doge, Pepe, and SHIB. So I did rotate a little profit from like XRP and all those ones into some Doge, Pepe, and SHIB because they're just not pumping quite yet. But outside of that, again, I'm just not doing much. I want to see how this all plays out first before making my next move. My last move was down here. Now I'm just waiting for my next move because remember, like I always tell you, it's a game of chess, not checkers. So that's why the market's moving. That's what we can expect next. And that's what I'm doing as a result of it. And you guys know my main game plan and my main goal with this channel is to be here for you through the good days, the bad days, when things are pumping, when things are dumping, telling you what I'm doing, what I'm seeing in the most non-biased way possible. And I hope I'm delivering that well for you. As I mentioned before, I did do a live stream earlier this morning. So if you do want to check that out, that is down below. We went in for like 2 hours and talked about crypto. And if you do want to check out the school, I will link that down below as well. Guys, our school has a very simple purpose, okay? We take crypto investors like yourselves. We give you courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, signals, research, Q&As, and much more to help you develop your strategies. And the reason why is because a strategy is what generates gains, not just aimlessly buying things. It's taking a strategy, sticking to it to create those gains. And as you can see from our community, this community generates gains. Our school has produced more gains than I've ever seen in my entire life. At this point, millions of dollars in gains just within the last 2 months. And you can see it if I just scroll up. I mean, 1100% gain there, 60% gain there, 90, 30, 60. This is all just within the last few hours, guys. And I can scroll and scroll and scroll endlessly. I can speed it up and it just goes on and on and on because our school members take these strategies and create gains. And that's the game plan. And the best part about it is you get your money back if you don't learn anything. And it starts as little as $5 a month, which is available there for you down below. There's a couple options, so feel free to go check that out. If you do want to do some leverage trading yourself, I will also leave a link to BTCC down there for you. You can get a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000, meaning if you deposit $5,000, they'll give you $500 back on the spot to start trading with, which is pretty cool. And last but not least, don't forget to go follow my Twitter at Tyler Crypto Talk, where I do post 5, 6, 7 times every single day. So overall, again, I hope you are enjoying all of the content we've been producing over the last few weeks. I feel like we've really started to just kind of get a grasp on this market and understand how this market works, especially from a lizard person perspective. So if you have been enjoying it, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel down below, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.